Welcome to Modern Alchemy.
Episode number 43.
You just love doing that, don't you? She really has a control issue.
I do.
I live with her.
I
You
do
don't.
my best.
But if you can't figure that out yet, she does. She doesn't have to work that hard to have a control issue. She has to work real hard not to have it. But that's not what we're talking about today. We started talking about what used to be one of your favorite hermetic laws
Polarity.
of the universe. Is it still your favorite law?
No.
No, it's not?
No.
What's your new favorite law?
It's the law of vibration.
Oh, is it really? I thought it was the law of correspondence. Anyway, we haven't talked about vibration.
Correspondence.
No, too late. Anyway, we started talking about polarity. They're all good. They're all good. We'll
really
get to them eventually. We started talking about polarity, and what does polarity tell us, Bersabeh?
Is that there's an equal and an opposite to everything.
Everything. Every up has a down. Every in has a
out.
Every bad has a
good.
Yeah, see, we can do this all day long. And so let's zero in on something that's really important to you in your life and your outcomes. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about intentions, the polarity of intentions and anti-intentions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Let's do that. In my book, my New York Times bestseller, Harmonic Wealth, all the way back in 2006, I talked about this concept called anti-intentions. And maybe this is the first time you've ever heard this, because most people are just like, what the heck are you talking about?
What?
And so let's
There's
talk.
no bad side to an intention.
Yeah, right.
Intention.
Right. Because here's the bottom line. And I know you've experienced this. Most people want to get all the up without the down, all the good stuff without the
bad.
But the laws of the universe say that everything comes in equal pairs. Every single pleasure you're going to achieve in life or experience in life is going to bring a corresponding pain.
Yeah.
Right? And we've talked about this before. So hopefully you've been tracking with us. You can go back and catch up on the last episodes if you haven't been. But most people are perplexed by the idea of anti-intentions. And so, Bersabeh, I'm going to let you start here. Give our viewers an example of an intention that you set for your life, and then the anti-intention that came along with it.
I would say, one example would be to get healthy.
Okay. You had that intention years ago.
I had that intention years ago for years.
Yeah, but it really started about 5 years ago. You weren't that healthy.
No, I was not. 5 years ago, I actually was a smoker.
Oh, my God. The woman you see in front of you right now was not the woman I first met.
No, I was not.
You know, she needed a lot of work. Anyway. And she's done the work. So anyway, go ahead.
I used to be a smoker, and I smoked for 24 years. So anyone who's a smoker or has some kind of an addiction to an outside substance understands what I'm about to say is... I didn't think there was a life that existed for me, beyond
the Marlboro.
Yeah, beyond the Marlboro, beyond not being a smoker. Because everything, and I started at a very young age, so it was what I knew. And I dreamt, this is my high goal in life.
How old were you when you started?
I was 12 years old.
12 years old.
Yeah,
That's why she's only 4 feet tall right now. Anyway, go ahead.
I'm 5'2.5", thank you.
Notice how she has to get the half in there. Go ahead.
So, you made me lose my train of thought.
Yeah. You thought there was not a life without?
Yes, without cigarettes. So I really didn't. And what I wanted more than anything in the world was to have a normal life. Meaning, like, I could sit down somewhere, like on the couch, and I can watch something or just be, just to sit on the couch and be perfectly okay with nothing. With no cigarette, no coffee, no stimulants, no alcohol, no drugs, nothing. And I never...
Which you had dabbled with all those.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, And I really didn't think it would exist, because what I didn't want to do, and a lot of smokers can relate to this, is that you quit smoking, but yet it's still in the back of your mind and you still think about it.
You tried to quit several times.
Oh, but ever since I was 20 years old, I've wanted to quit. And you always have it in the back. You'll quit. I've had gone periods where I quit for 8 months, or for a year, or for 5 months, or I would say, okay, I'm only gonna smoke on the weekends. I've tried it all.
She's tried phasing in.
I've tried
phasing into it.
I've tried phasing into it, and it was always in the back of my mind that it was always there. Oh, just one would be nice, or just a couple of drags to feed that feeling that you're trying to fill. Like it's this hole that you have that you're trying to fill with whatever it is that you're using.
Normally when you're trying to escape some feelings or suppress,
okay, so it could be both. You could, yes, both of them come together. You're trying to avoid feelings and emotions that you've suppressed. It could be trauma. Mine was a lot of trauma. And things that couldn't deal with or handle as a young person, as a young child. And the other part is it makes you feel alive, because you've got this hole.
Dopamine spike.
Yes, it makes you feel like you're present, that you're feeling whole, like WHOLE, whole. And so all that to say, my intention was, I want to one day live a life that does not exist whatsoever. Not even the once in a while. Oh, it'd be so nice to have a cigarette. Oh, it'd be so nice to have a drink, or name your substance. Nice to have a drag, to have some pot, to have some whatever you're using, right?
Can I interject something here? Because what you've described, maybe you as a viewer picked up on, but it's really important, is that her intention was not to stop smoking. She never said that. Her intention was, I want to be able to sit on the couch and feel whole.
Without anything.
Now that's really important, because the mind can't process a negative. If you think about, I want to stop smoking, which I'm sure you probably did numerous times, what do you have to think of? Yeah. It's like I say to you, don't think about eating a pizza.
Yeah, and what do? You start gorging on pizza.
Yeah. So anyway, really profound principle here, if you understand how the mind works. Go ahead.
So finally, I buckled down, and with his help, 5 years ago today, I quit smoking.
Is it today?
Well, yeah, in January. It was December when it was 5 years.
Yeah.
So 5 years ago, this month, 5 years and 1 month, and I haven't. In the first year was the hardest.
Oh yeah.
It was, and he can attest to that.
Yeah.
That's why I know he's not going anywhere. He's been through hell, and he's still here.
I'm getting my heaven after going through hell.
Yes, he is.
And that's a hermetic principle too. You pay the price in advance. Anyway,
yes.
We could talk on this all day,
sure.
but this is good.
Yeah. So then, what happened was, I'm like, okay, I said I'm gonna stop. So then I put the cigarettes aside, and then I dealt with all the things that came up. So these are the anti-intentions. The anti-intentions was all the emotional issues that I had kept stuffing and not dealing with and not seeing.
And there were a lot of them.
Oh, yeah, there were a lot of them. All those things started coming up.
I had no gray hair at that time.
Yeah. So all those things started coming up, and I started dealing with them one by one. I didn't suppress them. I didn't try to bury it with something else. And then it was the physical health stuff. And then first it was physical, is the dietary stuff. Then came all the mental stuff, and then came all the emotional stuff. So, and then, you got the spiritual aspect that kind of comes into it too. So it's been a heck of a ride for the past 5 years, and I had to give up a lot of things.
Those are the anti-intentions.
Those are the anti-intentions.
To gain the wholeness and to sit on the couch feeling whole, she had to pay the price the opposite, the anti-intention of what she's describing.
Yeah. So then, so then there was no cigarettes. Okay. So now, okay, maybe I'll drink a little bit more coffee. And then after that, I was like, okay, we got to come back down on the coffee. And then it was, maybe I'll have a little bit of comfort foods in the meantime to keep me from that. So then I'm like, okay, now we got to come off of the comfort foods and we're going to completely change our diet to make it something to healthier and whole. So, no starchy carbs and
How hard was it for a Persian to give up rice?
It's harder than
it may not seem like a big deal to you, but
yeah, when you grow up on it,
when it's in your DNA, anyway,
it's a little hard to give up the tahdig and the khoresht. Yeah. But anyway.
Really great example. I love you, honey.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you. I really am. Super proud. So
those are the anti-intention. I had to be very uncomfortable for 5 years. Very uncomfortable.
And make her husband very uncomfortable too.
Yeah, he went through heck too. And so I paid 5 years to get to where I am today.
Those and you're just getting started.
I'm just getting
I can't hold her down now. Yeah. But those would be anti-intentions for me too, because I remember the day she came into the office, my office, and she started crying literally, and she said, "I need help."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Okay, honey, what?" Because she hid it from me.
He didn't know.
She's really sneaky that way, little devil.
He didn't ask. He didn't know. I didn't lie.
Yeah.
I was honest.
And so she said, "I need your help." I said, "Okay, honey, what's up?" And she said, I've got this habit and I really need support and help. And I'm like, of course, let's go, let's do this. I'll support you. I'll be with you. Little did I know the anti-intentions that would come along with me either. And that is such a good example.
Yeah.
Really is. And I'm almost hesitant to share mine because mine pales by comparison, but maybe it's more relatable. Particularly if you're a millennial, and I'm not millennial.
I would think mine is more relatable than
it might be. Yeah. It might be.
Yours is more relatable when they think that's what they want.
Yes, I can't tell you how many clients we work with that want to be famous.
Oh yeah.
They want to be a public figure. They want to be famous. Well, guess what? I was famous at one point in time, and I was also infamous. I've been both, and here's what I can promise you: that to come the fame that you might get, because I've been on Oprah numerous times, I've been on Larry King, I've been on the Today Show, all those things, which maybe you're aware of, maybe you're not, and what comes along with that is that. When you're recognized, people say, no one recognizes me. Congratulations, because I'll tell you, I would be running late for an airplane and someone would go, "Oh, hey, aren't you jamesarthurray? Can I just ask you a quick question?" Well, I'm late for my flight, but, I can't be a jerk. So, of course, ask me this while I'm trying not to look at my watch, but the clock is ticking. Or I've got a meeting at 11 o'clock. I haven't been able to get to the gym because I've been so busy, and I've been on the road over 250 days a year. And I'm working out, and I have 1 hour to work out, and then I have a meeting. And in the gym, people will come up, "Hey, aren't you jamesarthurray from The Secret?" Yes, I am. "I know this is your time. Yeah. But can I ask you a quick question?" Well, are you really going to say no? Well, some people do, but I just couldn't do that. So those are the anti-intentions. Now, here's the principle, guys. If you understand that everything comes in equal and opposite pairs, if you understand this idea of intention, what you choose to create, and anti-intention, then you define them in advance. And that nobody does that.
True.
When you define them in advance, then and we didn't even do that with your becoming healthy and whole.
I knew.
She knew, but because she'd been through it so many times before. But when you define them in advance, so for me, I defined in advance, okay, I want to have this degree of exposure. I want to have this degree of impact. I want to have this degree of notoriety. And what that means is I'm going to have less free time. What that means is I'm going to be interrupted. What that means is that I'm not going to get as much sleep. Those are all anti-intentions. And here's the key. Please get this. When you define them in advance, then when they happen, you can be grateful.
Yeah.
Instead of have grievance, because you go, oh, I'm getting interrupted. I'm not able to work out. Oh, I'm so grateful that proves to me I'm getting what I've asked for. I'm getting what I'm going after. And it makes your life so much more healthy, happy, wealthy, and fulfilled, and primarily grateful. So what we're going to encourage you to do is to understand this law of polarity and to set your intentions for this year and beyond for your life, but also set your anti-intentions. What's the price I'm going to have to pay? Because the reality is there's always a price for the prize.
Always.
Please get that. And the bigger the prize, the bigger the prize you must pay.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's helpful. We're going to continue with Law of Polarity.
Yes, we are.
Next episode, and we're going to talk about what we're going to suggest to you is the ultimate polarity.
What's up?
So hopefully you'll tune in. Thanks so much for a couple moments of your day.
I want to know what it is.
God bless you. Lots of love
Thank
to you.
you. Bye.
Bye-bye.